All right, everybody. Episode 13. This is I decided to call it the Bill, aka Grumpy Adoption episode when we got our monkey puzzle tree. Y'all are going to hear, I don't know what it's going to sound like in the recording. Y'all may or may not, probably will hear some zooming in the background. The kids that live in the house adjacent to the RV park that we're currently staying in are ripping around on their dirt bikes. So there's going to be some of that in the background on this episode. I apologize, but children be children, and Whitney knows all about ripping around on a dirt bike.
There might also be some little puppy dog snores happening.
Yeah, there might be some puppy dog wheezes and snores because she's exhausted, because she refuses to not absolutely stress herself out to wit's end, because Whitney and I go and do things that she's not allowed to do, and she freaks the F out the entire time. So, we started this trip off. We went to Zola's on the Water in Brookings, Oregon. We got a hot honey pizza. We got Z-Sticks. We added jalapenos and extra honey to the hot honey pizza. We got the Z-Sticks as they come. Everything was delicious. We never have anything bad to say about Zola's. Service can be hit or miss, but we never have anything bad to say about the food.
I feel like I say this every time we talk about it. Isn't it called the Big Z? Because they have different Z bread or Z sticks or whatever options, and we get the Big Z.
Sure. Whatever. We get the most expensive cheesy sticks. I have Z sticks. Whitney corrects me every time. It doesn't matter. Look at the menu and get whatever cheese sticks you want. We get, I think, the Big Z, possibly. I'm not sure. I have Z sticks. But we started off there. We've been wanting to go, and we don't go that often. And Whitney's giving me a look right now. We used to be able to go on Wednesdays because it was 25% off all pizza items, but they did away with that because it was too good a deal. And now they do it so that you have to buy 8 or 9 pizzas and you get either your 9th or 10th pizza for free. So it's one of those like come back as many times as possible in order to get your punch card filled out in order to get your 10th visit for free, which I don't know, that would take most people a year to get filled out. So I don't know, 25% off on Wednesdays is better for customers. A 10 punch card free pizza at the end is better for business.
Comes out, I think I did the math, and it came out to like 10 or 11% off if you order the pizza that we got, which is like a $30 pizza or something.
Yeah, and the biggest difference is I don't think you worked it in. We get 25% off the cheese sticks also because that's a pizza item.
Right.
So now instead of having 25% off the entire ticket, we have one free pizza. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't go all that often. This is a regular thing. We've been 2 or 3 times the whole time we've been here since November. And as of the recording date, we're looking at May 13th today. Y'all aren't going to hear this until, at the earliest, July 20th. So we don't go that often. And it's expensive, but it's good and we can justify it. So we go because we like it. But we finished up at Zola's on the Water and made it up to North Bend / Coos Bay, which is, I'll say, 2.5 hours north, and went to Scoop's Ice Cream. I ended up leaving a review recently and said it's not the creamiest ice cream we've ever had, and whoever manages their Google reviews responded and said that what I'm associating with creamy ice cream is more than likely other businesses using preservatives, and I forget what else they said, but essentially they were copping out and saying that their ice cream was only creamy because they're not cheating like other people cheat to make their ice cream creamy, which if you need to cheat to make your ice cream as creamy as Jersey Scoops or Lagos, or Jersey Scoops is not in the Northeast, but Lagos is, and most of the ice cream that we had in the Northeast was super creamy. So if they're cheating to make their ice cream super creamy, I'll take the cheaters over Scoops, who we said was like a 7.5, like 8 if you're being super generous.
Is this the place where you got the
The chocolate
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 ice
chip cookie
cream
dough.
with cookie dough in it, and the cookie dough was? Is this where the cookie dough was like super soft and just kind of like melted away?
Yeah,
It looks like a lot of cookie dough in the picture.
it was a good bit of cookie dough. The cookie dough had good flavor. I guess I lost my train of thought for what I was saying, so I guess we're done with that. I got chocolate chip cookie dough. It was a good amount of dough. They apparently make their own dough. It's not as dense as other cookie doughs that you get in
It
cookie
tasted
dough.
like homemade cookie dough.
No, it had a good flavor to it, and the texture of it blended in well with the ice cream. It was good. I wouldn't hesitate to get it again. The two flavors that I got chocolate chip cookie dough and brownie cake chocolate. And if we went back, when we go back, I would get the same two flavors again as long as they had them. The brownie cake chocolate was just a chocolate ice cream with gobs and gobs of brownie pieces, and they were really good.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't take a shot on any other flavors. Those were good. I would just get those again because I doubt any of their flavors are any creamier than these were. And if I'm aiming for anything, it's a creamier ice cream. If I'm going there and I just want two really good flavors, I'm getting what I got, which I enjoyed.
I would get the same thing as you because I got the chocolate brownie, whatever,
You
and
got
the
the
sea
chocolate
salt
cake
caramel.
brownie and the salted caramel.
And it was good, but that cookie dough was so
The
good.
cookie dough was really good. It was a good amount. I wish the texture was slightly different than the ice cream so that whenever you got to a piece, like outside of the flavor being different, you were like, oh, there's a gob of cookie dough. Because it kind of just blended in, which isn't really a problem. But I'd also like to be able to have like a textural difference to be like, oh, there's cookie dough. Oh, there's cookie dough. But otherwise, I said I'd get it again. So there, obviously, I don't think there was much wrong with it. We said it was a 7.5. We saved it as a favorite. We liked it.
I feel like I rated it a little bit higher, maybe like an
I said
8.
7.75. You might have said 7.5 or 8, but we were between a 7 and an 8. So I wrote down 7.5 and I put 7.5 on the review that I left on Google Maps. I also got, so I decided to start getting pins for what I thought was going to be on my hat, but I ended up starting to put them on the fanny pack. And I got one pin whenever we went to Stuff That I Like, aka STIL Glass and Gift Shop in Eureka. And then we were in Scoops, and they had pins. They had all sorts of stuff. They had the little ones that go on your Crocs, and they had nice enamel pins, and they had other stuff. And they had a pin that said "The Audacity" with flowers on it. And I saw that, and I was like, "Well, this is a sign." So I bought that, and now that's added to the fanny pack collection of the two pins that are on there. So that was fun. We made it up to Florence, Oregon that night and stayed at Jesse M. Honeyman State Park Campground.
But do you remember what we did before we went there?
No,
We
it's not written down.
we went on a wild goose chase.
Did we go looking for a marble?
We did
You say wild goose chase. I just assume you're talking about a marble at this
by the
point.
tiki, no, totem pole. The one by the totem pole that we couldn't figure out where the totem pole was, and then we
You're
finally
right.
found it because
Is
we
that in my phone? I'm looking at my journal. Did I
It's
not?
it's not in your notes either.
It's not in my notes at all. Okay, I'm looking in my journal. I don't know why I'm looking at my journal. I should be looking at my phone, but it doesn't matter because it's not on either.
You have the journal. You might as well use the journal.
Well, I take the notes on my phone and then I do like a condensed version in my journal just to kind of get it in there. But the real notes are in my phone.
It was a literal wild goose chase. This is where we got the little stone goose.
It was because we got a stone goose, we got a tiny coaster that had a gnome.
I feel like it's not supposed to be a coaster, but
I
I
don't
don't really
know.
know what it's supposed
I
to
don't know
be.
what it's if we got enough of them, we could do like a backsplash.
Oh, maybe it's
them.
like just a tile.
It could just be a painted tile, is what it could be.
And a marble and the tiny glass mushroom.
So if you have been keeping up with us on Instagram or if you're friends with us on Facebook, you saw the Zola's on the Water reel that we made. You saw the ice cream review that we made, and then we did a live unbagging of Whitney's goodies that she found in Florence the night that we did this in the van. What?
I was trying to remember what Brooks said about us in that video.
I don't remember. I don't remember him saying anything. But we stayed at Jesse M. Honeyman State Park Campground. We stayed there before. We did a quick workout
That next morning.
the next morning. We drank our coffee. We walked around a little bit. We did just a really quick 20-25 minute workout the next morning and continued north.
And we were in Florence.
And we were in Florence.
And you know
so
what
if
that
you've been
means.
listening and paying attention at all at this point, if you recognize Florence, then you know that
That's where Big Dog Donuts is.
that's where Big Dog Donuts is.
Which might possibly be our favorite apple fritter in the country.
So we stopped and got an apple fritter to share.
It just looks so good.
We shared an apple fritter. Whitney did not get a plain apple fritter for herself. I did not get an apple fritter with maple glaze on it for myself. We shared an apple fritter. But don't worry, because we were going north and we stopped in Seal Rock. And again, if you pay attention and you know anything about what we do on the coast, we stopped at Chubby Little Mermaid because I can't say that because we passed it on the way south. But we stopped at Chubby Little Mermaid and ended up getting a maple whale donut, which, I mean, their donuts are fantastic. I think I've asked if they make their own maple and they said yes. So they make their own maple. I like it a lot. We got a chocolate chip cookie square donut, which the woman told me was a cake donut. I don't necessarily know if it was a cake donut. It wasn't that great. It was pretty dry, kind of spongy, but not like moisty, spongy in a good way or anything. I don't know if Whitney or I know I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if you necessarily cared for it.
I don't even remember it.
It was a donut, so we ate it. The star of the show, like outside of just the maple donuts being absolutely amazing, I made an impulse buy and got some cornbread biscuits that I think were like cheddar cornbread biscuits with some like savory seasonings in them.
Is that the one that I said I thought had like scallions in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got that and we ended up eating it later. I think we ended up eating it later that day for lunch with some Van Jam, some strawberry Van Jam. Very good. They were savory biscuits. They played really well with the strawberry Van Jam. They were very moist, dense, obviously a cornmeal texture. I said I would get them again if we ever went back to Chubby Little Mermaid and they had them. I had no issue with them. I enjoyed them very much. They were probably my second favorite biscuits for the entire trip. What?
I'm trying to think of what all biscuits we got.
Well, as far as where we went, I don't know as far as each specific biscuit. If they're my second favorite, they're probably my third favorite if you break it down by specific biscuits. But as far as like bakery goes, they're my second favorite bakery biscuits that we got for the trip. Do you want me to jump ahead and tell you where my favorite ones came from so that I can spark your memory?
Nest.
Dodo. Yeah, Nest by Dodo, for sure, were my two favorite biscuits. But I already knew that I liked the Nest by Dodo biscuits.
I know what my least favorite biscuits were.
The Little Brown Hen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Little Brown Hen. It doesn't help that they were $5 a piece. We'll get to this in a little while. They were big. They were $5 because they were big. But yeah, they were really dry.
It took me a lot longer to eat mine than yours
because I was
just like trying to create saliva in my mouth.
That's because you refused to put the proper amount of jam on your biscuits. So you didn't have the proper amount of lubrication to get the biscuits down.
Look at this pretty marble I hid.
If you put a Jake amount of jam on your biscuits, they would have been just fine. That's why they're so good for biscuits and gravy, because they saturate them with gravy and they just absorb everything. So we finished with, well, I can't say we finished with our cornbread biscuits because as far as like the timeline goes, this isn't exactly when we ate the cornbread biscuits, but this is where they're placed in the notes.
Those were good biscuits. They would be so good if they didn't put like they weren't bad with the savory stuff in them, but like the texture of them was so good.
Can you imagine how good those would be with like a gumbo? I think they would be good with a gumbo. I like cornbread with gumbo anyway.
Or so red beans and rice.
Yeah, red beans and rice. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
That's
of.
What you were
These
thinking.
With red beans and rice would be so good. Again, that was us stopping in Seal Rock, and a little bit further north, we got to Lincoln City, and we stopped in Lincoln City so that Whitney could go to Lincoln City Glass Studio and purchase a marble.
We got a few there.
You did get a few.
I
Yeah,
think
I said
literally
for
3.
a marble in my notes,
But
but
we ended up getting 3.
you actually you ended up getting 3 marbles.
And I think I've only hidden 2 of them.
So I have that fixed in my notes now. Lincoln City Glass Studio for 3 marbles. And then ended up going in Lincoln City up to Rhodes and State Recreation Site where you hid a marble. Was it one of the marbles that you purchased that day, or was it a previous marble?
No, it was the one that I got down at Still.
Okay, so you hid your marble that you got at Still in Eureka. And while we were sitting in the parking lot at Rhodes and Recreation Site eating lunch,
I looked at Facebook and somebody had already found it.
Whitney had
We hadn't
already
even
found it.
left.
And I was like, we should have made in the post, like, hey, we're in the big gray van in the parking lot. Come say, hey, if you come over here. But then, like, you don't know weirdos. So
I should have looked at what the person who found it looked like on their Facebook to see if it was anybody, because we talked to multiple people out there.
yeah, we did. So they found it really quick. And that was also where we were at the end of our. So we did an in and out kind of thing at the beach. Obviously, you walk down the beach and then you walk back. There's not really a way to make a loop out of a beach walk. But there was a nice gentleman out there that was like, hey, there's a whale out there, and pointed out a whale to us. So it essentially doubled the length of the walk as far as time goes to get back to the van, because we were just watching the whale the entire time.
It was so close. It was
It was the closest we've been to a whale.
The last time we saw whales on a trip when we were in Big Sur, we were up so high that we were watching them.
And they were far out.
I was gonna say, but we needed to be up high because if
we wouldn't have seen them if we were at ground level.
But this whale was literally, if it was only 1, I still don't know if it was possibly 2.
It could have been 2. It could have possibly been 3.
But they were right past where the waves were breaking, so that was really cool. I tried to get a video and I got it spouting like once, maybe twice, but not very good.
Yeah, I think that might have more to do with camera than anything. But it was also tough. The whale was being very sporadic.
Yeah, that was the problem. Like, I was standing there recording, and it wasn't doing anything, and I'm trying to like watch for it and watch my phone, and it just wasn't great.
So we played with the whale, and that was really cool. I mean, it was close enough. We could see the whale had barnacles on it. You could see the barnacles.
I did not see that.
Really? It might have just been coloring. It might have just been like water, like sheening reflection off of it. But I swear it looked like the whale had barnacles on it. We were close enough.
We're gonna have to Google that to see if barnacles attached to whales
grow on whales.
Attached to whales.
Do barnacles grow whales? So Jake thinks he saw a barnacle covered whale, but could be completely off base. Your starfish, gigantic starfish.
It's not a starfish.
Sea star.
The giant.
Yeah, they were massive. Well, that one was massive.
I don't understand. I feel like we've tried to go look for tide pools lately and have not found any good tide pools like we saw the last time we were out here.
Yeah, and I don't even remember
I was looking at some pictures and natural bridges. I had some really good pictures of, what are those, anemones and sea stars and stuff. So we need to go out there soon because I want to go tide pooling again.
I'm not going to stop calling them starfish.
And I'm going to not stop correcting you.
We saw the whale. We sat there and ate lunch. The person found Whitney's marble, which I don't feel like we hid that hard. I don't feel like Whitney and I had this conversation.
I still didn't expect it to be that fast, though, because you still had to walk. Like, I purposely I guess I did put it right next to a beach access.
There was an access point.
But I don't think that you would know that those rocks, unless maybe it was the person in the house that I put in the picture to kind of help. Maybe they're the ones that found the marble.
I don't know.
How funny
if
would
they
that
live
be?
In that house, I think they can afford to go buy a marble.
But it's not the same.
I don't think they need to go hunt for marbles.
I live in a trailer and I can afford to buy a marble, but I still go look for them.
Yeah, but that's not taking into consideration the value of the van parked outside the trailer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
we we live in a trailer and we play in a van, and the van is unmentionably more expensive than the trailer is. But we did that. And another video, if you pay attention to us at all on social media, we then went over to the Knoll Trail and went out to
God's thumb.
God's Thumb. But then I have in my notes also that it's also known as the Thumb. So some people just call it the
People
Thumb.
just call it the thumb, but then like if you zoom in on it on all trails for whatever reason, it says God's thumb.
So Knoll's Trail or Knoll Trail, which is on the north side of Lincoln City, I thought it was a fantastic hike. You did not end up hiding a marble, correct?
I did hide a marble.
Did you?
Yeah, and it hasn't been found yet.
I didn't. Oh, you did hide one. I didn't put it in my notes. Yeah, I remember that now. Knoll Trail, Lincoln City, Whitney hid a marble.
And this one was one of the ones that I bought in Lincoln City.
Okay, so this was one of the 3 that you bought in Lincoln City. You hit a marble. I thought it was a good hike. I posted a reel, I think, in the beginning of the hike, and then I ended up, this was the first one that I think I did. No, because I did a long format for Fern Canyon. But
Oh,
this
yeah,
was the first one that I actually got in landscape, so that whenever you watch it on TV, it's like a full-blown video. But this one was pretty. This one was fun. It was a really good hike. We drank a couple of really good beers. We didn't bring the dog. I don't know if the dog wasn't allowed or if we just didn't think the dog
Yeah, I
should
just
do
thought it would be
it.
too much because she had already walked a good bit that day.
She
And
had, but it was a good one. I didn't put the distance down for this. I thought I was putting the distance down it was 4.5 miles. So I have it in, well, the journal, which is supposed to be the condensed version of my phone.
and this is the one that if you look at it on all trails, it says that you can't.
Go out to the thumb.
No, it says that you can't. They moved the parking spot, and it makes you walk an extra half mile each way from where like the quote unquote old parking spot was. But
I think there's so limited parking at the old spot, and I think the people that live in that area don't want people parking on their road and occupying private property in order to park for the hike, and there's so much more parking where they have the new parking located.
but they
I
do.
still wouldn't finish the statement that you're saying. I would still just rather tell people go to the new parking lot and park in the massive new parking lot. You can probably stand to walk an extra 3/4 or 1 mile.
Yeah, but if we hadn't had to walk that extra mile, we could have brought the dog.
Eh.
Eh, facts. The dog could have made it.
We did that. I don't think we did. Did we do anything afterwards? Am I missing anything? If I say we went to Devil's Lake State Recreation Area for the night?
Oh, we forgot to say that we stopped at our coastal market on the way up. Coastal Market.
Did we stop at Coastal Market
Yeah,
on the way
because we
up?
got her cake.
Oh, you're right. That didn't make it in my notes at all.
Fail.
Yeah, that didn't make it into my notes at all.
So did we eat the cake and the whale and the I don't remember the order we ate things in. I just know we ate a bunch of things.
So the chocolate chip cookie square donut was eaten for breakfast the following morning.
Was it?
I think the square and the whale were both eaten for breakfast the next morning, and then the cake wasn't eaten until lunch or dessert the next day, if I remember correctly.
But we got a bunch of donuts the next morning.
After we left the campground.
But we ate the whale.
Yeah, we had a big morning. So we ended up staying at Devil's Lake State Recreation Area for the night and did our normal coffee and walk routine the next morning. And I think we ate our Chubby Little Mermaid donuts that morning for breakfast I remember eating the chocolate chip cookie square donut or whatever outside the van. I think the whale donut might have been inhaled in the van. And then we ended up going We went south to Glen Eden Beach because Glen Eden Beach is south of Lincoln City. So we went south to Glen Eden Beach, which, I mean, we've said this before. Glen Eden Beach is essentially just South Crescent City, so it's not like we went that far down. We wanted to go to Depoe Bakery, which is in the shopping center in Glen Eden Beach, and went in there. We got an apple fritter, we got a donut crusted cake donut, we got a Marionberry muffin, we got a turtle Bismarck, which was essentially a fancy caramel filled, chocolate covered, pecan topped donut,
As,
and a molasses cookie.
so say, I don't really know what a Bismarck is. I think it's really just a filled
It was
donut.
just a filled donut with chocolate and pecans on top with like a coffee or caramel filling. It was supposed to be caramel. I said it tasted like coffee.
I really thought that that cake donut was going to be the wrong decision.
That cake donut was the best thing we
I
got.
was like, this is a much more me thing, getting something covered in crumbles or streusel.
It was so good. That was the best thing we got. Again, another one. We posted a video of us eating a couple of these things. We didn't have the time to do a full-on, full-blown video of us going through and eating everything, and we also don't need to eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things all at one time when we had already eaten 2 donuts that morning in the van.
Didn't we eat all 4 of those things though? Sitting right there.
The molasses cookie was not consumed at that very moment, but I think everything else was
We ate
eaten.
all the donuts.
The apple fritter was good, not great. I wouldn't go back for the apple fritter, and I think I would try other things to see if I possibly like other things before I was like, I have to have the apple fritter again.
Looking at it, it just doesn't have the wow factor that
No.
Big Dog has.
I would get, and the Marionberry muffin I wasn't super blown away by. I thought it was okay, but again, it's not anything I'd have to have again. The 2 things I would get again, I would get the turtle Bismarck again, and I would get the donut crusted cake donut again. It was just soft and moist with a really good flavor. And then if you cover a donut in donut, it's double donut, donut squared. So it was tasty. The molasses cookie is the only thing that I absolutely would not get again. It was dry. The flavor is okay, but the texture was just all off. It wasn't dry in like a crispy ginger molasses cookie kind of way where it was still kind of like chewy.
Ginger snappy.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was just a dry cookie.
I don't think I even ate my half of it, did I?
I don't know.
I ate like 2 bites and I was like, here, you can finish this.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. We picked up a couple of, so while we were in that shopping center, Pioneer Joe is right there. So we picked up a couple of biscuits for lunch and ended up eating those at the end of our lunch with some van jam. What?
Bill's parents are so big.
We're getting to Bill's parents. We're getting there. We're making our way there slowly. Oh, yeah, we're going to
be
there.
there. Are we not?
Are we?
Yeah. We left there and we went to Bill.
No.
What did we do?
So we left there, and on the way north, we went to Niskowin Provisions.
Oh, I didn't take pictures then.
So we stopped at a little cafe slash, like grocery store almost? Kind of a grocery store.
Little market.
Market. Like market, deli, bakery kind of thing. We got a maple Bavarian donut. Really good, soft donut with a great maple flavor and a good amount of filling. We got a cinnamon roll. This is a really good cinnamon roll. It had a ton of icing on it. Whitney tipped it over on top of itself because she had things haphazardly stacked in the microwave for our travels, and I drive like a maniac, so
I didn't even take a picture.
I flipped the cinnamon roll on top of itself, but it was really good. I would get the cinnamon roll again. I enjoyed it. And then my favorite thing that we got was a lemon white chocolate cookie, which was really good. And it's also kind of hard to be sure about how much I actually enjoyed the cinnamon roll or the lemon cookie because I was slightly intoxicated when I ripped into the cinnamon roll and the lemon cookie. You're giving me a look. What do you want to say?
No, I'm trying to remember when we ate the cinnamon roll and the cookie.
It was that night.
After the ice cream that you just absolutely raved about. Best ice cream you've ever had?
At Friet's?
Yeah.
Are we all? No, this
Are we
isn't the
not?
same day we made it to Astoria.
You were intoxicated
Why are
twice
you?
on this
Yeah,
trip?
why are you trying to rush this? So we did Niskawen Provisions, and then you're also forgetting that we went to Niskawen Beach for a 1.5 mile walk where we saw the guy doing the painting, and I asked him if he sold his paintings, and he was too busy on the phone to answer my question and possibly make any money.
Maybe
So we went to the
maybe he
beach, we
doesn't.
walked around, we enjoyed
Oh, that
that.
was Proposal Rock.
Yes, that was Proposal Rock
That was
because
a
the
cool
cinnamon
spot.
roll that we got was Proposal Cinnamon Roll, named after the rock at Niskawen Beach.
I need to start taking more pictures. I didn't take a picture at that beach.
I didn't take a picture of the beach, but we went from there because we were trying to kill time before we went to the next place. I decided that we were going to go to Anderson's Oregon Monkey Puzzle Tree Farm in Cloverdale, Oregon, because we have passed this place numerous times, like up to 10 times possibly. And I finally decided, well, we need to kill time because we have 45 minutes until the place that we want to go opens.
And it's only 10 minutes
And it's
away.
only 10 minutes away. So we went over here and I looked at their website and they had 1 gallon babies for sale for $30. And I was like, I will get a little 1 gallon planter of a wee little baby monkey puzzle tree, and it can travel with us and grow with us, and we can do with it what we please. So we went over here, and the owner was fantastic. She was super helpful. She assured us that the trees are tough, they are resilient, they
Hardy.
they live in harsh conditions. They're from Chile,
Yes, the Andes Mountains in Chile,
Andes
I
Mountains in
think.
Chile. They live in very harsh conditions. They thrive in the Pacific Northwest between wind and rain and freezing temperatures. Although extreme heat isn't necessarily a factor in the PNW, it is a possible threat in Chile, so they are well accustomed to heat as long as it's not prolonged and as long as they still get some water.
Which they don't like the extreme heat. It's another reason we shouldn't bring Bill with us in the van on trips because if we leave him in the van will get hot sometimes when it's parked when we're doing things,
I
and
guess
then
we don't
Bill
want to
will
leave
get
him
hot.
outside the van because
No,
then we have to
someone might
worry about people
steal him.
stealing Bill. People steal all sorts of stuff. Of course, they would steal Bill. So yeah, we adopted Bill, aka Grumpy. He lives outside the trailer now. He's enjoying it. He's thriving. He's doing well. He's living his best life. Bear has not attacked Bill that I know of. Bear is our neighbor Lisa's cat, the
He
15 or 20 pound black cat with no tail and thumbs.
he's too busy attacking our rugs on our
He's
steps.
destroying our step covers on the trailer. Whitney will be at work and I'll just hear thunk, 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 and it's Bear kicking the steps outside, scratching on the covers. What else did you want to say about Anderson's Oregon Monkey Puzzle Tree Farm and Bill?
Just that it was amazing.
You want to talk about his parents?
His parents, this man, just I still don't understand. This man, we heard the story of how this man ended up with these two trees. He said that he was just going.
You heard the story. I didn't
Oh,
hear the
yeah, you were
story.
taking pictures. He said he was going crabbing up the coast with his ex wife, and they drove past this trailer with this dude sitting by it with some plants. And he was like, "Oh, if those trees are still there when we drive back past, I'm going to get them." And they were. And he did. And then he planted them at his house in 1979, right? Not 69.
Again,
You heard this part because she told us too.
yeah,
I think
but do you really want to ask me if I remember
it was
something?
either 69 or 79, and they thought they were less than 10 years old at the time, and he just happened to get a male and a female, and then they started breeding them.
And you have no idea
You don't
until they're
know until
15 or
they're
20
yeah.
years old what what sex they are.
It was a great experience.
It was awesome. Just the way the universe works sometimes is really cool. Other times it sucks, but it was really cool in this instance. So, what happened to them led to Monkey Puzzle Tree being founded and us eventually showing up for little baby Bill So we finished over there and then made it over to what the goal was for that entire
And
fiasco.
that
I can't say
entire
fiasco.
delay,
That entire delay was for us to go to Nestucca Bay Creamery in Cloverdale, Oregon.
which we have been to before.
We have been
That
to
was
once before.
that was our first trip up the coast, right?
That
When
might have
we
been our
like
first trip to
right when we
Astoria.
got here,
Yeah,
we went and oh,
for
it's
chocolate ice
so
cream.
good.
It's so good. It's apparently they use way too many preservatives because it's
It's
creamy.
so creamy.
Like I guess the only way to have creamy ice cream is to cheat and use preservatives and whatever else Scoops said other people are doing to make their ice cream creamy and not icy. But
Their chocolate flavor is just delicious.
yeah, like it's so good. And then you said you're not going to get your waffle pieces. And I tasted yours. I didn't like yours. I like mine with the Oreos a lot. I feel like the Oreos are complimentary. I didn't feel like your waffle cone pieces were complimentary.
I might just get plain chocolate next time, nothing mixed in.
And we got double scoops this time. Last time we got single
The
scoops.
way to go.
I don't know. Triple might be the way to go.
Did they do triple?
Yeah, they did single, double, and triple. So I'm thinking triple next time.
More is more.
More is more. So we got our Nestucca Bay, and now I finally said that we got biscuits. We went to Oceanside Beach State Park for a 1 mile walk. This is where we went through your tunnel, where it started to rain on us, and we did a little bit of agate hunting, but had no luck. So
there were plenty of other people out there hunting, but I don't know if they were having any luck.
Yeah, there were a lot of people out there digging through. There was a rock bed to kind of pick through. We had been to this park before. I don't know if we had ever actually been out.
No, because it was raining the last time we went.
So we went out. We did a 1 mile walk. I think we had half mile out, half mile back. It started to rain. We decided to just go back to the van. We had other stuff we wanted to do. We needed to eat lunch. So we went back to the parking lot, made lunch, ate, as usual, a fantastic lunch, and had our Pioneer Joe biscuits with van jam. And I don't know, thoroughly enjoyed that. There's literally nothing wrong with biscuits and van jam. And continued north.
People are probably like, what the hell is van jam?
Van jam is literally just jam
that lives in the van, so we can always have jam with us.
That we bought that stays in the van because Jake likes condiments and Jake likes biscuits and Jake likes anything that he can put condiments on, which includes biscuits. And I don't know, I feel like we're having a really good run with biscuits. You enjoy the biscuits, don't you?
I do.
You like going to new places and trying all the new biscuits that we get.
I love bread in general.
Right. And biscuits are nice because you don't have to have a whole loaf of bread. You can go get a biscuit and it's just a biscuit. It's not a loaf of bread.
And it's more exciting than eating jam on a slice of bread.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like all things are just delivery mechanisms.
You wouldn't go just get a slice of, what is it, Nature's Own bread and just put jam on it and eat it with your lunch.
Well, I mean, that's not a fair comparison because what's the comparison? I go and get, what's the biscuits that I like so much? The frozen biscuits?
Mary B's.
The Mary B. Yeah, no. If I have Nature's Own honey whatever bread versus like Mary B's biscuits or whatever, I'm gonna bake a Mary B's biscuits and put jam on that. Biscuits are infinitely more enjoyable and more delicious than bread.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess you're right. But we ended up going to Rockaway Beach Nature Preserve for Whitney to pursue yet another marble.
It's so disappointing.
You did not find the marble. You found the hiding place, but you did not find the marble.
I was pretty sure I found the hiding place, so I took pictures of it and posted it to the woman that had hidden it, lost it. And she said, it's right there. It's right there. And so I was like, all right, well, we'll go back another time and look. So we hit the same spot on the way home, and Jake hunted with me, and we never found it. So it must have been muggled. Or it fell into oblivion because it was on a boardwalk trail.
Yeah.
And you could not get onto the ground, and there was a lot of brush and undergrowth. And
there was a long distance it could have disappeared to.
But you didn't walk with me to the massive cedar tree.
No, and you have low battery.
I know. I'm on, always.
No, I didn't see the massive cedar tree. But Whitney did her little bit of hunting at Rockaway Beach Nature Preserve in Rockaway Beach. And then we continued north up to Seaside, Oregon to go to a bottle shop that Whitney actually found. I didn't even find this place. Whitney found this place months ago. We went up there. She listened to a lecture or a couple of lectures. I drank a couple or a few beers. We split a bag of chips and enjoyed. I enjoyed it. He had a good tap list. His cans were expensive. His cans were draft prices. So for some reason in my mind, if I have a can and I'm like, oh, it's $8 to drink a can on site, I'm like, that's fine. It costs the same as a draft. But then if you take that same can and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to put it in a 4-pack holder for you to go, all of a sudden you're like, oh, shoot, that's $32. I don't want to pay that. So I'm having a hard time accepting the fact that a lot of these bottle shops just have expensive beers in cans, and sometimes these 4-pack cans cost in excess of 25, 28, $30. And I didn't buy it from him. Another place that we go to later on in this trip, I did buy a 4-pack from that was $32 or $33. Um, but I don't know. I don't know why in my mind I'm like, if I'm gonna sit here and drink a beer at the bar, $8 for a can is fine. But if I want to take it to go, $8 for a can is ridiculous.
Is that what we were drinking earlier?
Yes.
2 of them.
Yeah, we drank. So I got a 4-pack that was a mixed 4-pack of 2x2 of everywhere.
So we drank one of each, and we have one more of each.
We drank one of each. We have one more of each. And it's disappointing because we have other beer in the fridge in the van that we paid half the price for that I enjoyed more, but it's everywhere. Like the beer, the brewery is called Everywhere, and I enjoy their stuff, but these
Or
just
so you thought.
well, no, it doesn't help that they cost as much as they did. If we would have gotten these at Growler King from G for like $16 or $18 for a 4-pack, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But it just hurts when you're like, oh, I paid $33 for a 4-pack, and it's not, if it's not exactly what I want for $33 for a 4-pack, making my hand gestures, then yeah, it hurts a little bit. But getting back to where we were, we hung out at Hop and Vine for a little while, and then ended up going to Fort Stevens State Park campground in Hammond, Oregon for the night. Did that, coffee and a walk in the campground the next morning as usual. Every morning starts with coffee, and as long as it's not raining and somebody's not hurt, then we go for a walk. And we did another quick workout that morning. Did that to get some activity, knocked that out. And this is when we went to Arnie's Cafe in Warrenton, Oregon. So we're north now. And I forget, I don't have my notes from the night before. Oh, so we went to Hop and Vine, and I drank at Hop and Vine, and I don't have it in my notes. Did we drink more that night?
I don't have any pictures from after
I don't know if
after 3:04 p.m. that day.
I don't know if we left Hop and Vine and went to the campground and continued drinking or what, but I feel like I tore into the cinnamon roll and the cookie that night, and there was a mild level of intoxication associated with that, but I don't have it in my notes, so it obviously must not be true. So the next morning we went to Arnie's Cafe in Warrenton, Oregon. We started off with a massive cinnamon roll with 3 times the amount of necessary frosting, which is the right amount of frosting or icing.
I don't know. I don't know what the difference is.
So it had a ton of sugary goodness all over it, which we tore through. What?
I think I liked this cinnamon roll more than the Nescauin, I think I said.
That's not fair.
But I think it's because it was warm.
It was served warm with a ton of frosting.
I did say that if we had heated up
The Nescauin,
it might have been as good or better.
I liked the Nescauin more. I thought the one at Arnie's was okay. Good, not great. Tons of icing, which I love. It wasn't very dense. It was a very light dough, and it didn't have a lot of cinnamon filling. I don't know, it was good. I mean, if we went back and you were like, hey, do you want a cinnamon roll? I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't go in there. I wouldn't, if we were in the area, I wouldn't be like, we need to go to Arnie's. We need to carve out time today to go to Arnie's just to get a cinnamon roll. They make their own donuts, so we also got a maple bar. Really good fluffy donut. Pretty standard to me, maple glaze, but overall very tasty because maple is maple, which is delicious. I would get a maple bar again. And then the meal is where it gets kind of iffy. I didn't care for the pancakes. I ate half of my pancake and then gave up. And Whitney ate half of her pancake just because Whitney doesn't eat as much as me. So we had my half of a pancake and her half of a pancake left over. And when we ate them the next morning, I still ate the pancakes. So they weren't that bad, but they weren't my favorite. I said they were very hotel-like, which Whitney thought was funny because I've only stayed at like one hotel my entire life. They were hard to cut. They had a weird density to them. They didn't slice well.
I feel like they just like maybe I never looked at the bottom, but maybe the bottom was a little bit overcooked to make it a little tough because it was just the bottom that I had trouble cutting through.
It could have been. I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with them. We also got Arnie's Hobo, which was eggs, hash browns, sauteed onions, ham, and sausage gravy. Again, good, not great. Not as good as L's. Like L's has kind of kicked off this whole thing where we
Else set the bar.
yeah, but it's also one of those like we also want something savory to go with our sweet stuff, so a scramble just makes sense. And then L's was so good, a scramble with sausage gravy over the top, it was just like, yeah, that makes total sense. So we did that here. It was like L's was the standard, like exactly what you would want it to be. Amazing flavor, perfect seasoning. And then Arnie's was kind of just like meeting the bare minimum expectations of what you would expect for anything. Like, does it have hash browns? Yes. Are
I don't
they
know.
good?
I
They're
wouldn't
just hash browns.
I wouldn't go that far because it makes me think of
Don't say Waffle House.
no, what's the one that we went to in Lincoln City?
Otis.
No, the first one we went to in Lincoln City in the
Oh,
little
it's not
strip.
even worth remembering, but I know what you're talking
Like
about.
that was like bare minimum. That tasted like they just got a bunch of food out of the freezer,
Yeah,
heated
you're
it up,
right.
and like
I
this
guess you're
place
right.
was.
Arnie's was better than the one that will not be named or remembered in Lincoln City. You're right. Nah, well, I don't know. So Arnie's is on the top side of average. The other one was on the bottom side of average. It wasn't
I don't even.
terrible.
I thought it was pretty,
Did you? You thought
pretty,
it was pretty bad?
pretty bad.
Ah,
It
okay.
was like completely flavorless.
All right.
It
Well, so
literally.
Arnie's is pretty well above average, and the other one was pretty well below.
I would give Arnie's like going off of memory, like
You are so friendly whenever it comes to saying what you're gonna give things. What are you gonna give it?
like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like 8. Okay, I could live with
And
7.
I would give the other place in Lincoln City like a 2 out of 10.
Oh snap!
It was not
That's
good to me.
low. Yeah, no, it was bad. You're right. You're not wrong. 2 is low, but I can't argue for it to be.
Like 2 is no chance would I go back. 5, I'm like meh. I might go back.
Maybe I'll be hungry.
Maybe I'll be hungry and that's the only thing around and I'll go get it again. But no.
To me, the saving grace was the biscuits. Well, I don't
When did
know.
these biscuits? Must be these biscuits.
Dense, slightly
were these the
dry.
ones?
They sliced and toasted
I
them
was
at the
about to say.
restaurant when we didn't eat them until the next morning. They were good, but certainly not great. I'd get them again, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get them.
I said I would get them again if I could tell them I didn't want them sliced and toasted because I'm like they were a little dry and they might not have been had we either eaten them right away, which we told them we were getting them to go, so obviously we weren't eating them right away.
Yeah.
But also,
well, the service was also lackluster at Arnie's. Like,
yeah,
she completely lost any interest in taking care of us once the food hit the table. But
yeah,
oh well. I mean, it was what it was. It was fine. It wasn't terrible. We made it up to Astoria, so this was a day. This starts a day. Whitney's gonna have lots to say about this day unless she holds her tongue and doesn't want to throw me under the bus. We made it up to Astoria. We went to the Riverwalk and did 2.5 miles. We looked at an almost $1 million house that
They're
was.
open for
It
offers.
was an open house listed for $975,000. It was what, 3 bedroom, 3 bath,
Sounds right.
20. It was over. It was more than 2,000, less than 3,000 square feet.
It's a big range.
Well, 2,200 square feet. We'll call it that. Nobody can prove me wrong. Um,
It was overlooking the Columbia River.
it was overlooking the Columbia River. When I asked Whitney on the other side of the room if she had seen the price and it was listed at $975, the realtor made sure to say they're open for offers. So their best price was probably $925. But
Oh, I should pull it up on Zillow and see what the Z estimate
no,
is.
don't bother. Don't mess with that right now.
Oh, I'm not.
So we did that. It was fun. It was a cute little house. It was way more house than we need. I would never buy that house. Although I'm talking about $1 million house. So what chance in the world do I have of buying $1 million house? It was cute. We like Astoria. We got a pretty good idea from her. Say something real quick.
What do you want me to say?
I just want to make sure that your levels are spiking and
My light's still on.
tilt your head up. Oh,
It's
you
on.
can see
I
it?
can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep an eye on your light just to make sure. If either of our mics die during this recording, I'm just buying new mics.
We're gonna huddle together and share one.
Yeah, we're gonna huddle together and share one. So we finished our walk at Astoria Riverwalk, and the day
did not see an otter.
we did not. The day kind of got weird here. We tried. I don't even have it in my notes, but I tried driving over to get Whitney another marble from another glass studio.
Oh yeah.
But we got there.
And their Google hours were wrong.
Fortunately, it was only 15 minutes outside of town, so we drove over to this random house where the glass studio was in his shed in his backyard. And his hours were wrong on Google. He had his hours on a board outside of his shop. So he wasn't open yet. We weren't going to wait. I doubt he had marbles that we wanted. So we went back into Astoria and went to Fred Lindstrom Memorial Park. We went to another park before.
Shively Park.
Was it Shively before? We tried going to another park before and it didn't work.
Because I actually have a picture there because we saw a monkey puzzle tree.
Oh, so we didn't. That one didn't work. We were trying to find a place to do a workout, so we went to Shively and it didn't work out. So we went over to Fred Lindstrom, which was right next to Peter Pan Deli and Bakery or whatever, because I said I was going to get something from Peter Pan, but I ended up not.
A macaroon.
Well, yeah, I said I was going to get a macaroon. I was thinking I was going to go inside and get a macaroon. I was going to get 2 macaroons because I was going to get one for me. And then if you decided you wanted a bite of macaroon, I was going to get a second macaroon
for you
to absorb your bite so that I didn't have to give up any of mine. And then I was like, oh, well, even then, if Whitney's like, no, I don't want anything, then I'm like, heck yeah, I got 2 macaroons. So it's a win-win situation. Like, I didn't have to give up any, and then Whitney doesn't want any, so I get 2. But I ended up not getting any. We were looking down the barrel of quite a day in Astoria. So I decided it wasn't worth it. And now begins the adventure. We went to Breakside and I said for a beer. There was some note-taking that I was trying to do. There was lecture listening on your part. You got a beer to drink, I got a beer to drink, and then I got a stout to finish.
That I didn't really enjoy.
That you didn't really enjoy.
What was that one?
I honestly don't remember which one that was. All their stouts have such crazy names. It's hard to keep up with like what they have. So we did that. Did I buy 2 or 3 stouts at that point? Did I buy 2 at that point? And then we walked them, and then we put them in the van. We left there, went to Fort George. Fort George is a whole thing. I like buying Fort George beer from the grocery store. I don't need to go back to Fort George Brewery.
Just chaos and it's just stupid.
Yeah, they don't. So if you want pizza, you have to go upstairs. It's the only place you can get pizza. If you want food, you need to go downstairs. They have 2 bars that aren't connected via payment availability. Both bars have different draft selections.
They don't know what they have at the other bar.
The outside bar doesn't allow dogs. The inside bar doesn't allow dogs. The only place you can have dogs is in the open space area outside. I don't know. It's the whole thing. Fort George isn't worth it. Like Breakside, we went to so we finished at Fort George. We went to Bowie, and I feel like the only two breweries that I really care about in Astoria at this point are Breakside and Bowie. And Bowie doesn't blow me away quite the same way Breakside does, but Bowie has Coastal Smash, which we love, and Bowie is super friendly, and they let Sandy inside. So if we can go to Bowie and drink like a Pilsner, or if they have like a random West Coast Pils or whatever they have on draft, I'm not a super big fan of their IPAs, but if we can get Coastal Smash and a West Coast Pils or like a lager or something, it's still worth it to go over there. More so than it is to go to Fort George. I don't know if y'all heard that. A kid might have just died on their dirt bike. So we did that. The bartender said Whitney could get into a bar fight if she wanted to, but she ended up getting along with everybody well enough that it was not an issue.
Did you write down what burgers we got?
I got the Tower. I got the triple. I don't remember which one you got.
Ugh, rude.
Did you get one with jalapenos?
I think I did. Their burgers are so good.
Coastal Smash is solid. Coastal Smash is like an 8.5 or a 9. They might be a 9.5. They could be a 10. If I have enough beer in me, they could be a 10.
Everything is a 10 to you if you have enough beer in you.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's probably either a 10 or a 0. If you don't like it, it's probably the worst thing you've ever had.
You know how bad the food has to be for me to have a slight buzz and find it unedible? Like, I'm not sure. Dog food? Cat food, maybe? I'm not sure. So we were doing that, and at this point, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 beers in.
I feel like it was only like, I don't think it was even that many. 4?
Well, I had 2 at Breakside.
True, because I didn't really help drink the stout.
And the stout was like 13%.
And then one,
which was essentially 2 beers in and of itself.
We only had one at Fort George.
I had one at Fort George, and I think I had 2 at Bowie.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
So anywhere from 4 to 6, and then we decided to go get ice cream.
Oh my god, best ice cream you've ever had.
Best ice cream
you
ever.
Freaking raved about this ice cream.
It was so good.
It was so funny.
We went to Frites and Scoops for some ice cream and got chocolate milk and cookies and hokey pokey. And did I get caramel sauce over them?
No.
If you look at the picture, they have like a caramel sauce on them.
Yes, you did.
Are you looking at the picture? I don't remember getting caramel sauce.
Apparently, I didn't take a picture. I took a video of it on accident.
Because you didn't go in with me because you had the dog, right?
Correct.
So I don't even know how we ended up with caramel sauce on the ice cream. Because I don't remember ordering the caramel sauce. I really don't. I looked at the picture.
You were drunk.
I looked at the picture when I was doing this, and I was like, why did I get caramel sauce on this? I have no idea. Maybe I was like, oh, Whitney will enjoy this. Whitney will love this. This is so nice. Whitney will appreciate this. So they were both very good. I'd come back, very creamy, good mix-ins, great flavor. We did that. I rant and raved about that. And while we were at Bowie, Whitney plucked the nose hair out of my head after I told her that if she wanted to pluck the nose hair out of my head, then I could go to Breakside and buy another beer, because there were beers that I wanted at Breakside that I didn't get because I didn't want to buy too many beers. But if she felt so inclined that she just wanted to rip a nose hair out of my head, then she would have to agree to let me go back to Breakside and get another beer. And
it was sticking out so far, and you were just walking around like that.
And she said deal. So I let her...
I think it was my idea to begin with.
I let her rip a nose hair out of my head. And once we were done at Frites and Scoops, we had the van parked back by Breakside. So I skedaddled my behind back to Breakside.
Strangers did not need to know this information about us.
And went in and got myself one more beer.
To go. A bottle to
go.
No,
to go. Yeah. I'm not putting down another 13% barrel aged stout after all of this. I already had a drunken love story with the ice cream at Frites and Scoops. So we went back to Fort Stevens State Park campground for the night and went on a nice leisurely stroll to the shipwreck that is in or near the campground.
Wreck of the Peter Iredale.
Wreck of the Peter Iredale. 2.5 miles round trip. Walked over there and hung out for a little while.
You saved it on Ben and favorites.
So there have been a couple of places recently that have been getting marked duplicately, and I don't know if it's a me being stupid thing or if it's a Google Maps being stupid thing.
I just turned it to favorites. I thought it was cool looking.
I thought I fixed it. I swear I fixed that.
Did you want it benned or favorited?
I wanted it favorited.
Okay, that's what I did.
I don't know. I've had to correct that for a couple of different places on Google Maps.
Ugh, rude.
What?
There's apparently an observation tower at the jetty that I didn't know about, so we didn't go to it.
So we went to the shipwreck and did that and spent the night at the campground and drank coffee and went for a walk the next morning and then went to Nest by Dodo, which again, I do such a terrible job sometimes of taking notes. I don't have the city for Nest by Dodo in my notes. I'll have to make that correction. I try to make this available whenever I'm recording so that if anybody cares to know, they can go. But I feel like it's near Warrenton, right?
It is.
Is it essentially?
Oh, it is Warrenton.
It's Warrenton?
It's a Warrenton address. I would have thought it's way on the south side of Warrenton.
So Nest by Dodo is Warrenton, Oregon. I love Nest by Dodo. I think they're very good. They're very friendly. These are my favorite biscuits by far. We got a Calabrian chili and goat cheese biscuit, and we got a day-old cheddar and chive savory biscuit. Whitney preferred the cheddar and chive. I preferred the Calabrian. We put strawberry Van Jam on both. Yeah, like 10 out of 10, perfect, no notes, no improvements.
These are the ones that I cut into fourths, right? So that we could each have a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom.
Yeah. That's exactly what you did. We also got the cinnamon roll. We ate the cinnamon roll that night, but I had already eaten. Let's just wait until we get there and then we can go through this. So to continue the day, we stopped at Dodo. We didn't eat any of the stuff. We went to Indian Beach Trail at Ecola State Park for a 4-mile hike. Again, another video that I made and posted to YouTube. We did that. I thought it was a fantastic hike. I enjoyed it very much. It was beautiful. What? Oh, so we were on this hike. We're making our way through. And you had to stop because the dog had to do something.
She was either peeing or sniffing.
So the dog was peeing or sniffing, and then I stopped because I don't like when Whitney or the dog get too far behind me. And if I notice, then I stop and I make sure to close the gap a little bit. And I go, oh, there's an elk head over there.
You didn't. You said.
I did. You're right. So what did I do? Reenact it.
I did. I just reenacted it. He looked at me and he kind of held his finger up to his lips, and then he gestured me over quietly with his finger. So Sandy and I,
after I'd already been yelling about, what are y'all doing back there? What's the damn dog doing?
Sandy and I tiptoed over to him, and he looked and he turned me around and he pointed, and there was an elk. Just a head. Just an elk head. There was no body, just laying behind a log, just watching us. I still don't know how you spotted it. When I watched the video that I took of it, I can't see it until I get zoomed in.
And you said you were going to post that, and you never posted it.
There's still time. This doesn't release until July 20th. I'll post it then.
Yeah, but consistency on the channel is what brings in the views and draws people to us. So we saw... Are you going to finish that?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't even like it, and you're going to finish it. So we're drinking one of our Breakside Stouts as we record this. And Whitney's going to finish it, even though she didn't even like it.
It was good, not my favorite.
I'm about to open a bottle of wine.
Wine would be better.
You want to open a bottle of wine?
No.
You want to party? You have to go rafting tomorrow.
I need to sleep well tonight.
So, we're not going to party tonight. But we did this hike. I thought the hike was great. We saw the elk. We got up to the top. This was supposed to be
We were supposed to hike down to
We
the
were
beach,
supposed to go
Indian
down to the
Beach,
beach, but we didn't go down to Indian Beach. We stopped
because we brought the dog with us this time, and
essentially
that would
on
have
the
been.
overlook. We stopped up top. There was no need to go down. We were going to go to other beaches that day. We still have so much left to talk about. Um so we did that, drank a couple of beers. It was a cool hike.
Hit a marble.
Hit a marble. We did. There were a couple of really good hikes on this trip. Knoll was really good. Indian Beach Trail was really cool. Um Anything else about the hike? Just that it was a really good hike. I would
Yeah, it was.
recommend it. I didn't think it was all that difficult.
And there's more hikes in Ecola State Park. Looks really cool. So there's more that we can go do in there.
Yeah, there's more stuff I'd like to do in there. I thought that was really cool. Cannon Beach wasn't too far away. At this point, we were making our way back south again, so we stopped in Cannon Beach. We walked around. So I feel like there's two parts of Cannon Beach. There's like South touristy Cannon Beach, and there's North touristy Cannon Beach. And we went to South touristy Cannon Beach first because Whitney wanted to go to.
Well, we really only went.
Well, you wanted to go to Haystack Rock, but before we went to Haystack Rock, we went to Sleepy Monk Cafe for some coffee, and then we also stopped in Ice Fire Glassworks, which
Which
is
is
one of the
ridiculous.
most impressive glass shops we've ever been in.
I feel like them and I mean
Lincoln's amazing.
Lincoln City Glassworks.
Yes.
They do a lot of similar stuff. It's a lot of
Lincoln
coastal
Lincoln
themed
City Glassworks and
things.
Volta are both absolutely amazing. I feel like Ice Fire is up there with the quality that you see at Volta and Lincoln City Glass. Just it was stupid how amazing. I mean, their stuff is expensive. We saw stuff in there for $15,000
It's
for a
ridiculous.
piece. It was amazing, beautiful stuff. We go into a lot of small glass studios, and you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. It's it's just a whole different level whenever you go into a place like this. It was absolutely amazing. Um,
And I bought a marble.
you bought a marble. We went to come on, land, so I can kill you.
Don't break your glass.
Look, I'm gonna get these bugs are driving me nuts.
It's just one, I think.
So we finished at Southside Cannon Beach and went to Haystack Rock for puffins,
We
but the
wanted
puffins were
the
gone.
puffins got back to Cannon Beach in like April, and I wanted to go see them because they land and nest on Haystack Rock. And we got out there, and I was like, "There's going to be volunteers in red jackets out here. Let's go to a volunteer." So we beelined for the woman in the red jacket, and I was like, "Are there any puffins out here?" And she was like, "Well, there were,
And
but
then a bald eagle
then
came.
the bald eagles came, and all the puffins skedaddled and went out to fish and eat some lunch, and they did not leave a TBD, a TB to would she say it's to be
BRB.
a BRB sign? Yeah, she didn't write. She said they didn't write the time back down that they were going to come back, so we didn't get to see the puffins, but
So
we'll
we
go
missed the
back.
puffins. We left there, and then there was a bottle shop, another bottle shop that I think Whitney again had found that was on the north side of Cannon Beach in the tourist area. So we drove up there, didn't find a parking spot, had to park way on the east side of town in the RV parking. And then I ran into town to go to Bodega Bottle Shop to buy a $33 four pack of Everywhere New Zealand IPAs and West Coast IPAs, which we've talked about. Yeah, I don't know. It was a cool little shop. He had a good draft list. He had a good can selection to go. It was just expensive. I don't know. I'm not in a tax bracket where I can justify spending $33 on a four pack ever again
On a regular basis.
on a regular basis. Um so then we left, continued south, and went to Silver Point Interpretive Overlook for lunch, biscuits, wine, and for Whitney to do some schoolwork. So we drank one of our bottles of wine that we got while we were at the Tulip Festival in Oregon and ate our biscuits and ate our lunch, and Whitney did work. What? I'm just making sure you don't have anything else to say before I move on. There's not much to say in some of these spots, so it's kind of like just say what we did and then move on.
Yeah.
Continued south, ended up at Niskowin Provisions again. We wanted to stop and see if it was late in the day at this point. When we got in there, they had literally one thing remaining, and Whitney bought
One sweet thing.
They had one sweet thing remaining, and Whitney got the last chocolate croissant that they had. I got one bite of it. I can't form an opinion off the bite that I took. Whitney said it was good, but that you would like to try an almond croissant.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, not mind-blowing.
We got back down to Lincoln City and stayed at Devil's Lake State Recreation Site campground for the night. And while we were at Devil's Lake State Recreation Site for the night, I stopped at Safeway on the way into town because I wanted to go to Cold Stone, but then I decided Cold Stone is expensive AF. So I went to Safeway, which was across the street instead, and Whitney picked me out a churro pint of ice cream. So I crushed a churro pint of ice cream before what? My mic's on. Before we consumed our cinnamon roll, and I think
it ruined your taste buds.
I think that the pint of Ben and Jerry's churro ice cream might have wrecked my palate because I didn't think much of the cinnamon roll. Whitney enjoyed the cinnamon roll immensely.
I enjoyed it just as much as I did the first time we got it.
Yeah, so I didn't think much of it, but I think it had more. Well, I didn't screw up. I enjoyed my ice cream a lot.
I should have eaten that whole cinnamon roll since you didn't appreciate it enough. And you had a whole pint of ice cream.
And the next morning was amazing. Do you remember where we went the next morning? The next morning was absolutely fantastic.
Are you talking about whale bites?
Yeah, so we had left the next morning, and we knew we were going to get food that day. So that day was Cinco de Mayo. We were trying to decide, like, do we want to go get Mexican food? I think there might have been one other consideration about where we might go. Like, I wanted Otis Cafe, but we weren't going to stop at Otis Cafe. You said you wanted whale bites, which is Depoe Bay, which we hadn't been to. You wanted to go to before. We passed it.
I've had it on my list since the beginning of our time here.
You had it on your list, and we passed it the last time we had done one of the... I got hair in my mouth. The last time we had done one of these trips so that we could go to Otis Cafe in Lincoln City. But this time,
I decided I wanted whale bites.
Yeah.
And it was good.
I got it. We're good. It was a sandy hair.
We got...
What did we get? Tell the people. Do some talking. I feel like I do all the talking.
Because you don't shut up. We got the apple fritter waffle.
How were they?
Which I don't really... It was delicious.
How was it?
It was delicious. I don't really understand why it's called an apple fritter waffle because there's nothing fritter about it.
There was no apple-y.
Like, it's a waffle with a streusel and a vanilla caramel sauce. Is that right?
It had condensed milk.
Vanilla caramel condensed milk or something.
How about you get your stuff together before you take over driving this ship? That's why I talk so much. I'm the only one capable of driving this ship.
And what's this purple stuff sprinkled on it?
It was lavender flowers.
And we got the Sunrise XL burrito.
Yeah, we did.
Which was massive.
With what?
Food.
With extra what?
Chipotle aioli. Chipotle basil
so
aioli?
Good. For $1.
Was it Chipotle basil? Am I right?
Chipotle aioli. I don't know.
How about you drive this ship?
No, you said you were taking over, so take over.
Do you have it written down?
No, I don't.
Fail.
The Chipotle, no, I said Chipotle aioli. Sunrise XL burrito, top all-time burrito. The Chipotle aioli is excellent. Plenty of egg and meat in the burrito. Absolutely awesome. Super happy with this spot. As we were leaving, I told them it's one of the best meals we've had all year. Between the burrito and the waffle, I was full, which is impressive. If you can fill me up on a meal with two things, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but like then
I drank 2 cups of coffee.
Then the food comes out though, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why it's an $18 burrito.
Yeah, we spent $42 or $43 for the meal for one waffle and one burrito that we shared.
There's still so many spots we need to go to up and down the coast.
I don't know. I guess coastal Oregon and California are not for the poor or faint of heart. So if your pocketbook is feeling kind of thin, then maybe you shouldn't be eating out in these areas, or just go get some muffins
There
from
it is.
Safeway and call it a day with an apple.
4.9 stars from 286
Whale
reviews.
bites. It was so good. I feel like the price was justified. They've got a small staff. They make obviously, I mean, it's a restaurant, so you expect them to make everything to order. It takes time to get your food. If you're in a rush, go to McDonald's, go through the drive-through. The food was excellent. The waffle was amazing. The burrito was so good.
It was chipotle rosemary sauce, not chipotle
Oh,
basil.
that's why it was so good. It was rosemary. So yeah, it was fantastic. I can't wait to go back. I would rather go here than Otis Cafe between Depoe Bay and Lincoln City. I want to go back to Otis Cafe just to try the cinnamon roll, bread pudding, French toast, because that just sounds extra gluttonous.
Vanilla waffles topped with maple cream sauce, caramel applesauce, shortbread cookie crumble, and vanilla whipped cream.
No mention of your flowers. I don't know. It was good. So we did that. I would highly recommend Whale Bites. We continued south, got down to Yachats, went to Dream Machine. I think Whitney had been wanting a coffee. Whitney had been saying multiple times this day that she wanted a coffee. So I decided to stop at Dream Machine. She got a cinnamon vanilla cold brew that I enjoyed way more than she did. And then you also made an impulse buy and got us a dark chocolate
Oh,
chip
that cookie
cookie.
was
The
good.
cookie was really good. So I
They
have
use
no
Valrhona
issue.
chocolate.
Huh?
They use Valrhona chocolate, which is a good chocolate.
I have no issue going to Dream Machine to begin with. Now I want to go to Dream Machine every time we pass just to get a cookie.
Just one cookie.
Just a cookie. No, it was
Only
so
one.
with the way our lunch is, I love just having like
A little sweet treat.
yeah, and the cookie is fairly large.
It
So
was a
for
good
us to
cookie.
split, it was more than adequate for us to have at the end of our lunch.
Especially considering we also have biscuits.
Yeah, I guess for lunch we did have an apple, a Cara orange, 4 ounces each of pork tenderloin, however many pickles I decide to pile onto the plate. We each ate a biscuit with Van Jam, and then you pile a cookie on top of that. Like
That's a full blown meal.
it's not a small lunch, but it was a good lunch. We also did the Hobbit Beach Trail for a 1 mile hike.
Yeah, people say just such wonderful things about this
It's
trail. They're
an
like, oh,
easy, pretty hike.
it's like a fairy tale.
It's an easy, pretty hike that's accessible for people that don't probably perform well
The
on
best
other hikes.
part of it was all the shells and
Yeah, they had all the shells that were stacked up on the side of the hike. I mean, we've been on hikes that were absolutely amazing, but like some of the hikes that we do, the effort, the ability that you need to have to do some of these hikes, like
I bet if I had put a marble on that hike, somebody would have found it by now.
probably Hobbit Trail was cute. It was a pretty little trail. It's
It was less disappointing than the tunnel was.
when you're used to the hikes that you and I do, but I mean, if you take the accessibility to the Hobbit Trail and then offer up the challenge of some of the other trails that we do, then yeah, the Hobbit Trail was good for what it was.
We need to make another trip.
What, north?
Yeah.
We're going to. Don't worry, we will. We stopped again on the way down in Florence, not for anything that we're used to, but we stopped for little brown hen cafe for biscuits. These were the biscuits that we had for lunch this day, right? Yeah, these are the biscuits we had for lunch. They had to be this day because the trip didn't continue past this. We're almost done, babe. We're at an hour and 18 minutes. We're almost done.
We talk too much.
So they made their own jam. So Whitney and I just had Brecky Sammy's breakfast sandwiches for dinner last night, and we had little brown hen house made jam left over, and I had I want to say boysenberry, but it's not Marionberry, and it was so good.
It's
so
too
good.
runny.
The Marionberry was stiffer than the strawberry.
It was still very runny.
No, it wasn't.
I was watching it gloop everywhere off of your sandwich.
You just don't remember. So the biscuits were pretty dry and crumbly. Not bad, not great. They were $5 each. We wouldn't go back again. if you ever go to Little Brown Hen in Florence, Oregon, they're cash or check only. Don't take your debit or credit card and
They
expect
have
to
an
be able
ATM.
to pay. They have an ATM, so do that. And then Whitney's favorite part of the day, it was Cinco de Mayo. What did we do for Cinco de Mayo to celebrate?
For dinner?
For dinner.
We made nachos.
Yeah, but what did you say about the nachos?
It was too much.
You said it was a what amount of calories?
I don't know.
You said it was a disgusting amount of calories. Why?
Because it was ridiculous.
Yeah, but why?
Because
the only thing we added was a can of refried beans.
Because we put
and they had no calories.
We had a whole can. It was me and you. And we had, are there still chips in there?
I finished the chips.
My goodness.
I finished the chips the next night.
We had most
You were at work the next night. I was unsupervised. Of course I ate the chips.
We had most of a bag of Tostitos chips. 14 ounces of meat.
Oh, did you weigh the meat?
Yes. Got to make sure we get enough protein.
And you only did 14 ounces?
Yeah, 6 for me, 8 for you. That's all you need.
That's assuming you share and give me more.
A whole 8-ounce block of cheese, a whole can of corn, a whole small can of black olives, probably half a jar of jalapenos, considering you made them, a whole can of refried beans.
None of this stuff has any calories.
We did get the fat-free refried beans, though, didn't we? No, we didn't.
No,
we got the regular ones.
We got the full-fat refried beans.
And Taco Bell hot sauce. And
the meat
you ate it all.
The meat was the most calorically dense thing. What were you?
Not the cheese?
Yeah.
A whole block of cheese?
You say a whole block of cheese. It was a small Tillamook thing of cheese. It was barely
a pound of cheese.
It was a fistful of cheese.
Half a pound of cheese. But that's how we celebrated our Cinco de Mayo.
Were you hungry afterward?
Of course not.
And you're complaining that I ate all of it?
You did eat all of it.
I did not. I was still hungry. I could have eaten more. We didn't have dessert that night.
We didn't need it.
So that was the end of that trip. That was when we got Bill. That was when he did all the things. It was a fun trip. I enjoyed it. I don't have any questions. I didn't write any questions down for the end of this episode for you.
My question is, are you ready for cinnamon rolls?
We have cinnamon rolls that I'm looking at. I'm ready for those. If you're ready to tell the people bye and good night, tell the people bye and good night. And then this.
Deuces.
All right. Bye, everybody.